And we are recording once again.
Finally, we're back.
We are back after like a month hiatus, I believe.
At least, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know, we needed the time.
we do. And we have a lot to catch up on. We have
Yes,
gossip to spill, tea to spill.
yes.
Um,
All
but
kinds of things.
before we get into all that fun stuff, give me your teaser. What are we talking about this evening?
Okay. In 1980, a Hollywood crew sailed out to Turtle Island off the mainland of Fiji to film The Blue Lagoon, a story about two young people discovering love in paradise isolated from the rest of the world. 42 years later, a couple from Memphis, Tennessee arrived at that same island for their honeymoon. One of them would never leave.
Underwear, alcohol, syphilis, murder, forbidden. Oh, I'm intrigued. That
Yes,
was a good little teaser.
I know, because you thought it was going to be about the Blue Lagoon, but it just happened to be in the same location.
Yeah. Well, we'll discuss all this later, but you just recently had your wedding.
I did.
And you've been so busy with all the
So
things.
busy, all
that-
the things. Yeah.
So we're just finally catching up. We have a lot of things. I have horrible things to say about all of your friends.
I'm
Just
sure.
kidding.
I've
Well,
heard terrible things about all of them.
no, probably what you heard was terrible things from them about me. But we'll
No,
go into all of that later.
yes, for sure. This might be a longer episode, folks. We're
Yeah,
catching
but
up. If
we'll
it's
do,
too long, we'll split it into two.
yeah. Or, we'll lead with your story, and then if people want to hang on for the gossip, they can.
Yeah, yeah, the
But
fun part.
before we get into it, and before because I'm most excited to hear about your sources. As you know, that's my favorite part of every episode.
And I can't wait to reveal them.
Yes. But before we do, tell me about what you're wearing and what you're drinking.
I am wearing a little bridal number this evening. Just a nice little bra. It's got some white and peach flowers on it, so it felt very bridal to me. So I decided to wear that. I took my gummy naturally, so I have my THC gummy, and then I have a noon electrolyte. Drink with a bit of vodka inserted into it.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Yes, and you?
Well, we're both doing florals.
Mhm.
Um, I just bought this.
I
It's
love
from
it.
Yeah, it's from India. It's like the designer is Indian, right? But it's a whole lounge set. It comes with pants, which I'm not wearing right now. And actually, I'm going to show you what I'm wearing. And I
Okay.
wouldn't typically do this on YouTube, but we're all floraled out. And I just got this new swimsuit yesterday from
Oh,
Australia, and I'll cover myself a little bit, but
oh, that is, I love it. Love
it's
it.
got embroidered. I don't know if they're like cherry
I
blossoms
was
or,
about to ask if they were cherry blossoms because that's what they look like.
I love an embroidered floral situation. So
Yes, yes,
that's what I'm doing. And then I'm drinking a white wine. Are you shocked?
yes. Pray tell, what region?
You know, Actually, that's a good question. I think it's a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. And I actually haven't done Sauvignon Blanc in ages because I just sort of got tired of it.
Hmm.
But we're back. So
Well, I guess I will welcome everyone to Forbidden, the podcast where we discuss the dark, disgusting, and the disgraceful in our mentionables. That's right, we've slipped into something a bit more comfortable. As we just said, have a drink in hand. Hope you're doing the same, listener. Welcome. I'm your co host, Amanda Kamada.
and I'm your other co-host, Blake Roberts, and this is a special edition one-off episode just on the riding the coattails of Amanda's wedding, a very special bridal wedding story episode, which I know nothing about except for that teaser you just gave.
And my sources are Wikipedia, Fox News, CNN, Law and Crime, and listverse.com.
Okay.
So Christy Chen was 36 years old, a pharmacist. Her colleagues described her as bright, dedicated, and quietly ambitious. She was originally from Denver, but had built a career and a life in Memphis, and by all accounts was someone who poured herself into her work, her friendships, her future. She had also, in the winter of 2021, met someone. His name was Bradley Robert Dawson. He was 38 years old. So she's 36, 38. They meet. He's an IT specialist at Youth Villages, a Memphis nonprofit serving at risk youth. On paper, unremarkable in the best possible way. He had a steady job, stable life, and no criminal record. So on paper, this looks like a good guy, right?
Mm.
So they met in November of 2021. By February of 2022, just 3 months later, they were married. 3 months. That's crazy. I did 13 years, folks.
Yeah, for real, for
Yeah,
real.
yeah. So 3 months, I could never do that. There is no
No,
fucking way.
that
I've
sounds like
never, I've never, I've never met anyone where 3 months later I was like, this is marriage material.
no.
I'm
I
ready
three
to
months
settle
later,
down.
yeah, like, do I even want to move in with this person?
Yeah, yeah.
God bless the people who stay together.
Yes, yes. So 3 months later, they were married. Their wedding planner later posted about the event on Facebook. The post has been since deleted, but before it was captured and reported on widely. She wrote, and this is just paraphrasing it obviously since it's been deleted, but she wrote, "Thank you to Brad and Christy for trusting us with your special day. We put this gorgeous little ceremony together in just 26 days." So they took 26 days to plan the wedding. So they had literally been together about 2.5 months before they decided to get married. The wedding was held at the James Lee House, a historic inn in Memphis. There was about 20 guests there. Nobody who attended the wedding had any reason to worry. In fact, like they had been dating for such a little time that the people closest to her had barely met him at all. I mean,
Right.
think about it.
I
you
mean,
know,
he had barely met him at all.
she had barely met it at all. So their romance had moved so quickly and privately that he was an essential stranger to everyone in her circle, and as you said, to her as well.
Yeah.
One professional acquaintance actually told reporters he had only just heard about the wedding and then days later heard about the death. So November they meet, February 18th they marry. February 19th they held a small reception but waited until July to take their postponed honeymoon. So that's the time frame here. So their postponed honeymoon, they went to Fiji to the Turtle Island Resort, and that's where the Blue Lagoon was filmed on Turtle Island.
Mm.
They had a private cabana. It was called Bure 15. On the evening of July 8th of 2022, another vacationer at the resort complained about noise coming from the couple's room. They described it as a drunk argument accompanied by a loud scream, a bang, and then utter silence. But no one looked into the matter until the next day when the resort staff realized the couple hadn't shown up for any of their meals. But by that time, it was too late for Christy. A housekeeper found her dead body in their room with gruesome injuries to her face, head, and back. She was dead, and he wasn't there.
Wait, what was the date on that happened? So
Uh,
August 15th?
July 8th of 2022. So we're coming
Okay.
up on the anniversary of this. So on July 8th, the resort got the complaint from their neighbors or whatever saying that they heard fighting, a loud scream, a bang, and then nothing. But it wasn't until the next day that they found her dead, and then he was gone. What investigators pieced together in the hours that followed was this: at some point after Christie's death, Dawson gathered his passport and his personal belongings, with the exception of his watch, which had a GPS capabilities on it.
Mm.
He left the cabana, leaving his wife's body propped up against the toilet. And then he got into a kayak. He paddled away from Turtle Island and made it to the mainland city of Nadi, where he was arrested less than 2 days later. So He left her there and went and got in a kayak and paddled away from the island. It
How,
didn't
do you
say
know the
how far
distance?
it was. I don't
Okay.
know how many nautical miles it was.
So that's Turtle Bay,
Turtle Island
Turtle Island.
on Fiji. And Nadi is Nadi.
It says, okay, this is the AI answer on Google, which I hate, by the way, but here it is. I'm going to tell you. It says by from Turtle Island to Nadi by helicopter or plane is 30 minutes. By catamaran, 4 to 6 hours.
Oh my
And
God,
that's,
he was in a kayak
yeah, and that's a high speed catamaran or boat, 4 to 6 hours. So that probably took him like,
a couple days to do.
I mean, that's bonkers.
Yeah. So once he made it to the mainland, he was arrested less than 2 days later. So he made it there in 2 days at least. When Fijian police interviewed him, he gave a statement. Prosecutors would later read portions of it aloud when in court. He told police that the couple had gotten into a drunken argument, that it became physical, that there was a broken window pane, and that Christie was next to the toilet, that she was hurt, that there was blood and a cut on her face. He said he left the room, and when he came back, he freaked out and fled. So
Bullshit.
he never called for help. He never alerted resort staff. He never dialed any emergency surge services. He took his passport and he got into a kayak and left his wife basically 5 months to die on their bathroom floor of their honeymoon cabana.
That is way too suspicious.
Yeah, yeah,
Come on.
exactly. His defense would later argue that Christie had been drinking, that she fell, and that her injuries were the result of an accident, but and that he was not a murderer, but a man who panicked. So he sat in Fijian custody for over 2 years before his trial concluded. He pled not guilty, but he declined to testify in his own defense. His legal team called no witnesses. So the defense rested entirely on reasonable doubt, like that because no one saw actually what happened, that the injuries could have been self inflicted by a fall or, like, and that they argued that even though he had told them all of this specific information that had happened doesn't mean that he like signed a confession or anything like that. And I don't know how Fijian law works anyway. um, but the prosecution pointed to the injuries themselves, the severity, the pattern of the trauma. It was inconsistent with a simple fall. um, they obviously pointed to the fact that he fled. Like, if you were genuinely concerned about this person and she did fall, you would go and get her help and not let her die. And that, she still had her engagement ring on when she was found. So there, they couldn't bring up that she had been robbed or something like that, that someone had come in there and done that to her, or had wandered somewhere.
Right.
She had only been in that room with one other person, that was him.
But I'm sorry. Also, I sort of understand when something bad happens and someone might panic and make like not the best decision immediately.
Hmm.
But over the course of the next 2 days or whatever that it takes you, that you're like have made this really like extreme decision to just abandon the person who you just committed the rest of your life to, even though that life was short for her.
Hmm.
You would think at some point between then and then that this guy would have been like, you know what, I need to go back, take responsibility for the part that he probably lied about, which was that they just got into a fight and then she died like on her own.
Right.
But you would think if that was really what happened, you would you would stay and defend
Oh,
yourself,
yeah,
like
and defend. Yeah.
instead of trying to run and like escape. Like, what is your plan? You're going to leave your entire life behind, your job. You can't go back to the US. So
No,
you're abandoning all of that because of an accident. That doesn't track at all.
no, not at all. Well, it certainly didn't track there either, because he was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison on February 13th of 2025 with a mandatory minimum of 18 years before he can be considered for parole. He has been held in Fiji continuously since his arrest in July of 2022. So he's currently about a little around 3 to 4 years into that 18-year minimum. But there's a little like difference in the parole system there. Like under Fijian law, prisoners can apply for parole after serving their minimum term, but the parole board is currently unstaffed. So it's contributing to prison overcrowding.
Mm.
Yeah, so the path to his release isn't really that straight, like it's not like he has 18 years. If they don't have um, someone there in 18 years to hear his argument that he should be released or whatever, he could end up doing more time, which I can't believe it's only 18 years. But we've had instances like this before where we've talked about um, legal systems in other countries and how some of the crimes, like you don't do as much time as you would in the United States for a crime.
Yeah.
And some of them are so dangerous, like because if you're gay or something, then you can get arrested or be put to death or something like that. So there's like all of these different, but this, I felt like 18 years didn't seem like that long enough.
Can I tell you, I'm a little bit shocked, and maybe it's because it was international and in another country. Because I feel like if that trial had taken place on
In
U.S.
Memphis,
soil,
yeah,
he would have been walked free because it was circumstantial and there
yeah,
was no hard evidence and there were no witnesses there. And I feel like a jury here would be more likely to say, "Well, we think he did it, but you really couldn't prove it, so we have to let him go."
yeah.
So I was actually kind of surprised that he ended up. And I mean, I very strongly feel my opinion that he did it just based on, this 15-minute conversation, but it is just my opinion and I'm not a professional and I don't have all the information. So, like grain of salt, but he seems guilty to me.
And one thing that's worth noting, there are actually a couple things worth noting now that we know that he did it, that he's still serving time for it. But it came out that her injuries were so severe that her family was forced to have her cremated in Fiji before her body could be transported back to the U.S.
Wow.
So she had severe facial injuries. You know what I mean? It wasn't just a fall, if that was the case.
Right.
Um, but another interesting thing is after all of this came out, um, one of his ex girlfriends came out and said a little bit about Bradley Dawson before Christe Chen. So he attended the University of Tennessee, where he met a woman named Kristen Baker around 2005. So this is like 20 years before. They dated. She described it as intense, fast moving, passionate, and then she says something else revealed itself. In
Hmm.
an interview with ABC News following his arrest, she said, and I want to be careful here to use her words precisely because they matter. She said, Dawson was, quote, manipulative and threatening and jealous. She described a moment near the end of their relationship when she tried to leave him. She said he pushed her down onto a bed and chased her, and she got away from him and then moved on. And
Yeah.
then for years, like nothing came out about this guy after that happened to her, but she never, like, it doesn't sound like she reported it or anything like that.
Yeah.
So this is just a guy who had like a cycle of violent behavior and stuff like that, which makes me think even more so that he probably was responsible for her death.
Yeah. And then there were probably more instances like that that were not reported.
Hmm.
Because I feel like that's one of those things too where it happens to you once and it's scary enough for you to say, you know what, this isn't for me, I'm out. And so you probably wouldn't report it, right?
Right.
Like maybe he didn't actually hit you, maybe he just pushed you.
Yeah, onto the
Maybe he
bed.
just screamed at you and scared you. And that's enough to say no more of this, but
Hmm.
probably not enough for someone to say, I need to go to the police with this right now.
Right.
Which,
Exactly. It involved the police in something.
yeah. which, you know, I understand. I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't even think about it. Like, I need to report this person as much as I'd be like, I just need to get out.
Yeah. This is not cool.
Yeah.
So that is the story of the death of Christe Chen.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
I mean, what like you kind of wonder because they met so quickly, and that was a pattern with him, obviously, because his ex-girlfriend said it was the same way. It was fast, it was intense, it was, um, but they were probably so young back then because it was like 20 years ago that they dated,
Yeah.
whereas this happened a few years ago. Um, but you kind of wonder if when the abuse started or if he just became unhinged that one night.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't show their true colors that quickly, you know? So I could see that where maybe nothing happened before.
Mhm.
You're like sort of in that phase where you're all about each other. It's like, love bombing, as they used to say. I don't think anyone really says that anymore, but
Yeah,
like that whole phase of it before, you know, the bad stuff.
real stuff sets in,
Yeah.
and then real things start coming out and that sort of thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that was wild.
It was wild and oddly sad.
Yeah. It's a bummer. Jeez,
Yeah,
Amanda. Should we talk about some fun stuff?
yeah. Let's talk about my wedding or what you've been doing since then.
Yeah. Um, Actually, we'll talk about your wedding, but on theme with this episode and with your wedding, we've been watching. Oh my God, this came served to me. I can't remember. I think it just popped up as a recommendation, and of course it would to me. A made-for-TV movie starring Rue McClanahan and this is from 1990, I believe. And the whole thing is about her marrying this younger man, played by Patrick Duffy from Dallas.
Oh no.
And her family and how they react with it and like react to it and deal with it. And it's like sort of poorly written, um, but entertaining enough that they made two sequels made for TV.
I've
And
never heard of this. That's wild.
oh my gosh, hang on, I'll look it up. What's it called? But while I'm looking it up, in the sequel, Patrick Duffy's the character comes back but is replaced by the guy who played his brother Gary on Dallas.
Oh, okay. He was on
And
Knots Landing.
yes, from Knots Landing.
Okay.
Um, so, but anyway, it's for whatever reason we decided to watch all three.
That's
But
amazing.
it's called so the first one is called Children of the Bride,
Hmm.
followed by Baby of the Bride, which is where she gets like a surprise pregnancy like later in life.
Ooh.
And then Mother of the Bride is the third one where one of her children is getting married.
Okay.
But it's on they're all on Tubi. Um, they're not great, but they sure are entertaining. If you like a campy, sort of ridiculous.
I think it's campy how they cast it,
Oh yeah. I mean,
especially because like they play brothers on Dallas, and that sort of thing. I think it's hysterical that it went from one to that.
and then they also brought in and you can tell it's network. So they're pulling
All of
from
their,
actors from
yeah,
their shows.
their
So
talent.
there's another guy. There was the one of the girls from that TV show Empty Nest, if you remember
Yeah.
that. He
Yeah.
plays one of the daughters. And then there's another guy in the third movie who plays one of Rose's love interests on an episode of The Golden Girls.
Okay.
And he's a character actor. You've seen him before in other stuff too, but it just was funny, like all of the connected dots, you know?
Right.
But anyway, just a fun movie recommendation if you like movies that are not that good.
A
Uh,
made for TV movie.
yeah.
Is that
But
what
I
they
want
used to say?
huh?
I said, isn't that what they used to call them? Made for TV movies?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I want to talk about some of your friends.
Okay.
Let's talk shit. Um, and I'm just kidding, actually. I just have only lovely things to say. But it was sort of sad leaving because I felt like we were only there for, I think, 4 days or something.
Mm-hmm.
But we actually left there feeling like we made new friends.
Aw.
And I'm serious too. And it's, but you know this, like, especially at our age, it's more and more difficult to make friends.
Yeah.
It's not like, when everyone moves out of state to go to college or even in state to go to college and you're moving away from all your old friends for the first time, and it just sort of forces you into that.
Mm,
But if you move to a new city as an adult, yeah, you're going to find a job, but you're going to get a job with people who already have established lives there. So it's like, where do I fit in?
yeah.
So it sort of was like that because you had all these people traveling from all over, and it kind of forced us to hang out together.
Yeah.
Um, and we just really enjoyed. Oh my
I'm
God, I'm
glad
not.
that I'm glad it went well. That was an
Yeah,
interesting social experiment we put together.
it was, and it was fun, and we'll talk about some of the fun things that happened too. But um, obviously, Laura Grimm, who has been on a double episode like 2 years ago or
Yeah, it
something.
was I can't believe it's been 2 years ago, but
I
yes.
know.
Yeah.
Um,
Great
so
episode, by the way, if you want to go back in the archives, folks.
yeah, that is a fun personal story of yours that you somehow survived. Um, but I mean, obviously, like I've spoken to her before, like briefly, not like for an extended period of time, obviously. But so we already had like a little bit of a connection and rapport there, which was nice. Um, but she was just wonderful in
Yeah,
person.
she's
We
awesome.
had a lot of fun with her. Um, and well, we'll get into more people in a second, but I also wanted to say, Josh and I went out there and we kind of figured, well, we don't want to like intrude on other people's times. It's assuming that, you were going to have to like spend time with different groups of people or like just with family or with Ron or whatever. And so Josh and I just anticipated like we'll just need to like carve out some time for our like to leave them alone and go do our own thing. We didn't get any of that really.
Yeah,
We were with you guys.
monopolized your time.
Yeah, we were with you guys or with your friends the whole time.
That's
In
amazing.
in the best way too. Like um Melissa and Misha were awesome. Um gosh, we talked to them for a long time at the wedding, and I was like, God, I we must be boring them to death. But they just like kept hanging out. I was like, okay, maybe they're not bored. But then we went to the beach together, and what's your neighbor's name?
Jay?
Jay, who, by the way, has texted Josh since then. So Jay, how old is Jay?
He's like 70 something.
70 something, like a lovely older gentleman who has a place down there in Miami Beach
Mm,
next to you and Ron. And so we went to the beach. He went to the beach with us, and so he was teasing me because I was there in my swim briefs. And so he texted Josh a couple nights after we got back here, and he was like, "What does Blake think about this swimsuit on me?" And it was like an AI generated photo of him in a speedo with like two hot girls on either side. It was funny.
that's
It's like
hilarious.
like an older guy like that knowing how to even use chat that way. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. He's funny.
but yeah, the Germans, as I love to call them, they they were fun. I feel like we need to do an episode for her now because she's sort of into the supernatural stuff.
Mm.
And so we talked about that for a little bit. So I'm thinking maybe I'll try and work something like that into my next story or an
We
up.
really tried to go to Berlin to see them sometime. You guys should go with if we
Oh,
go.
I would love that. Yeah.
They would love that, I'm sure.
And they have like really great sex clubs there, which would just
Yeah,
be fun.
yeah, yeah. They
The
have all
cleanest, the cleanest glory holes in the world, right here.
courtesy of Berlin.
Yeah.
Thank you, Berlin.
Um, gosh, but like your mom obviously was lovely, and we spent a lot of time talking to her too. and your sister.
She wants you to be her son. She was just like, if I had a son, she was like, I would want him to be just like Blake. She was like, I hope he knows that he's he's part of our family. I'm like, I don't know that he wants to be part of our family, Susan.
Well, that depends. Is there an inheritance for me?
Yeah, exactly. What's in it for me?
Uh,
Oh, but she was just like, if I had a son, I would want him to be just like Blake. I was just like, wow, okay. Made
but
an impression
it was, I mean, the boat,
that I
the
was
little,
missing on.
yeah, that you were missing. And yeah, that was sort of wild because we didn't know if you or Ron were going to show. Like, we all just sort of started showing up and finding each other at the docks and
Yeah.
not really knowing exactly where
And
to
Ron
go.
was running late because like he had to go to Publix and they didn't have the food that we ordered, so he
Yeah.
had to scramble and get stuff. Yeah.
And then you didn't show because the night before we all decided after the wedding, which we were all drinking at, to go to we went to a bar afterward, right? And
Mhm.
then we went to another bar and did karaoke. And we were there until I think it was like 3:30.
It's had to have been very late.
Yeah. But you left your shoes behind
I did. I did.
and which we got, but I think one of them was broken.
Yes.
Uh, yeah.
What's a wedding without a broken shoe?
And karaoke.
And karaoke. Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We yeah, we had a lot of fun.
I feel like am I forgetting anyone?
I feel
Oh,
like yeah, I don't know.
um shit, the guy who officiated.
Eddie.
Eddie. Eddie, who I mean we've talked about Eddie before on here. But he actually just accepted my friend request on Instagram
Oh,
today.
nice.
I think it was today. He was a character too. He was like sort of flirty, which I love.
Hmm.
Um, but just like a good fun guy.
Yeah, yeah. He's very inappropriate too.
Yeah. I mean, if he'd got me one or two more drinks, I probably would have slept with him. Oh,
He's the one who has had an encounter with an actor before who is supposedly straight.
yes.
Yes.
I recall this story from Overdrinks, but I actually don't recall who the person was now.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
have to remind you later.
Yeah. I won't reveal it on our podcast, although I should.
I do remember now.
Mm, yeah.
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 But that was years ago. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah. Anyway, it was no, he's a fun guy. No, Ron and I were just so happy about how everybody just kind of got along. And everyone kept telling us, like coming up to us at the reception and afterwards and stuff like that. And we're like, your friends are so cool. Your friends are so nice. Your friends are so this, that, and the other. And we're like, well, you're here. There's a reason why you're here too, because like you're nice. But there wasn't anyone that was like a total jerk or anything there.
No.
You know how weddings can be. There can be
Well,
drama.
yeah, and I'm
It could be awkward, like this one that we just talked about where they knew each other for 3 months. Imagine how awkward that wedding was. Because it's like
that'd be really uncomfortable.
nobody knew anybody there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think probably the reason why too yours felt as good as it did is because you had a very curated guest list. It was very small, like a very intimate um, ceremony, and so it's easier to have conversations with people like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like a massive crowd. Oh, Bo and his partner as well.
Yeah. Did Josh have fun?
Oh yeah,
Good.
yeah, he loved it. I mean, the fact that he was texting with Jay afterward, and um, yeah, we've been talking about everyone there, how nice that was. So
Yeah. Did you exchange numbers or anything with people, or are you just reaching out on them on social?
social,
Okay.
yeah. If I did exchange numbers with people, I don't remember, which means I probably drank a lot on that trip.
I
We were
know I did.
celebrating.
Yeah. I don't even want to see our credit card bills from that month.
Oh yeah.
I think they're going to be rolling because it was like at the very end of May, and we're just at the very end of June. So I think those are going to roll in, and Ron and I are like this.
Yeah. I as you know, Josh is still unemployed, and so we've just been charging a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I just got dinged from TransUnion that my credit score has dropped, so that's exciting.
mine mine fluctuates itself. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll bounce back from it. It's fine, but I'm just kind of like I mean, it's not like I'm paying the minimum on my credit card. Like I'm not able to obviously I'm not able to like
Pay it
take it
off.
all out, pay
Yeah.
it off. Yeah, but like seriously? I
Yeah.
always pay on time and I pay like a significant amount, but
Right.
whatever. Here we are
Here we are with a new outfit on.
with a new well, I'll tell you that too though. That's something I shouldn't be doing, but I am. But this plus the swimsuit are purchases I made after your wedding.
Mhm.
And I do this is like a bad habit where when things get really stressful, um, I I purchase. I mean, that's a thing people do, right?
I do too. I just bought like 2 weeks ago. Like I went to there was a Dolce and Gabbana exhibit here, and I
Hmm.
went to that. And before I went, I dropped into the Alexander Wang store, and then I found like a sweater that was on sale for like, I mean, it was like 60% off, but it was still 60% off at $800, you know?
Yeah,
So it was like three or $400 by the time I was done, but it was so cute, you know?
yeah, I
I
know.
just, and I mean, it was a really good deal, you
Yeah,
know, and it looks fantastic on me.
yeah,
Like good clothes just fit better.
they do. I mean, that's a thing.
Yeah,
But I mean, and two, like we were coming off of Memorial Day, so lots of sales coming into 4th of July. Like I'm already seeing sales for 4th of July.
right.
So I got both of the things I'm wearing, I got with discounts. But yeah, it adds up and I shouldn't be doing it, but I've cut myself off as
Yeah,
of like a week ago.
yeah.
Um,
I cut myself off. Well, I did a good thing yesterday. I went to a sample sale. They have sample sales in Wynwood, and it was like a designer one. There was like lots of like shoes there. There was lots of like Balenciaga. You could do like handbags and shoes and all that kind of stuff. And there was a pair of shoes that actually fit me, and I ended up not getting them because they were still like $350. But again, they're an $800 pair of shoes retail.
yeah,
Ron said that his shoes that I got him were a hit at the chicken joint when I was away.
oh yeah, oh, I forgot that we did that. Yeah, that was fun too. Yeah, those were cool shoes.
Yeah, the Dolce and Gabbana exhibit was really cool, though. I would highly recommend if it comes to your city to go to it.
Oh, speaking of things touring, you went to go see a couple of tribute bands this weekend.
I did
Strange Love, the Depeche Mode
Strange
tribute band.
Love and
And
Love
what was
Song.
Love Song for The
Yeah,
Cure?
hmm yeah,
How was it?
it was really good. The
I know
Cure,
Strange Love is good.
yeah, Strange Love is the Cure. The Love Song was good, but and I love The Cure. I mean, they're right up there with Depeche Mode for me, but they weren't as convincing. Like the Depeche Mode, Strange Love is just, if you closed your eyes, you wouldn't know that it isn't them. Except for Martin, the guy who does Martin Gore's stuff, like he has a stronger voice, like and more deep. But
Yeah.
like overall and how tight they play and stuff like that. Like they're very convincing.
Well, I'm sorry I missed it. Where was it? Was it in Miami Beach?
No, it was like at a casino in Dania Beach, which is
I
like
didn't
it's around Hollywood, Florida. It's between Hollywood and Fort Lauderdale,
Okay.
Florida. Yeah.
Yeah,
So a little bit further north. So it was a very fun crowd though, you know. I don't know if you've ever been to like a casino show.
of course I have. I love a casino show.
I've seen Air Supply at a casino in Washington State before.
I think that is their thing now because
Yeah,
they play Wild Horse Pass here. I think like every year or two
yeah,
they come through here.
yeah.
Oh, I'm going back to Savannah at the end of July. Oh, like a month from today.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember my friend Bob? I told you he passed away from cancer over
Hmm.
Christmas. They're having his celebration of life on his birthday, which I think is the 26th of July. So essentially a month. So I'm going to go back up there for a few days for that. And then I'm flying from there to Pennsylvania. We're going to do like a week with Josh's family up there at Lake Erie, back in your neck of the woods, sort of
Yeah,
ish.
ish. Is Tilda going with you?
She will go with Josh to Pennsylvania, so I will meet them out there in Pennsylvania.
Lucky you. You don't have to travel with her.
She stresses me out so much
Yeah,
on airplanes,
yeah.
so I'm relieved that I will not have to.
Do you guys give her drugs?
Uh-huh, and they don't work.
Oh.
We've tried so many different things, and it's truly hit or miss. Sometimes she'll be
Have you tried chloroform yet?
that's next on the list.
Okay.
Sometimes she'll be good or like decent, you know? Like she's like a little squeaky at takeoff and landing, and she'll be good like throughout the flight. And other times she is just awful. I mean, I've definitely been around worse dogs on planes than her, but as her owner and the one who's like hyper aware of what she's doing, it really stresses me out.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really cares like at landing or whatever when they get kind of like they're just like, well, it's the end of the flight anyway, so it's kind of like whatever. But
The
it takes
beginning.
yeah, at the beginning, because then you're like, oh my God, am I gonna have to listen to this the whole time?
Yeah.
Um, she generally calms down after the plane takes off, but sometimes she doesn't.
I saw a thing today. I don't know if I sent it to you on Instagram, but it said that Japan Airlines like actually has like a seating thing where it notifies you if there are going to be children in seats. And I'm like,
No,
that is fucking brilliant.
when
Because
you what do you mean? Like how?
so if someone purchases like children's tickets or so, because they know the ages of everybody on the plane. So
Oh, like before you
before
select
you
your
select your seats, that
that is brilliant.
it shows which where children are sitting. And I was like, why don't they all do that? I would pay for that upgrade to know it.
Yeah, same. And if you could like check a box, it's like, you know, like I have dog allergies or I have kid allergies. Like don't
Yes.
put me within like 3 rows of those things.
No.
No, thank you.
Preferably 10 rows or
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
Or none at all on the plane.
It's like an adults only clothing optional flight.
Yes. Yes.
That sounds lovely. Yeah, you may have sent it to me, but I feel like the only things you send me on Instagram have something to do with penises.
Yeah, well that too. I'm
That's most of
I'm convinced Instagram thinks that I'm a gay man
it
because
definitely based on the content that you send me. Like
yeah.
some of the stuff you send me is gayer than what I'm fed in my
Yeah.
and I get a lot of like because I shop off of Instagram, which
Hmm.
is one of my contributing to my lower credit score. Thanks, Meta.
Yes.
But I get a lot of like dudes in speedos, and I mean, how can you not click on it?
Yeah.
I look
Yeah.
nothing like those guys, but
Or
still,
athletes running.
slow motion wearing those shorts where you see everything flopping around.
Yeah.
Love those.
Yeah. All of that.
Well, I'm happy to stay and talk, but should we let these people back to their lives?
Absolutely. Like, where can people continue to imbibe in our content?
We can continue drinking from us or whatever. Exactly where you are right now, which is either YouTube, Spotify, or Apple. You can follow us along on social whenever we post, sometimes on Facebook, rarely on Instagram at The Forbidden Pod. And if you have something you'd love to hear, if you have some nudes you want to share, or if you want to see my version of an Instagram ad with the guy in a Speedo, I'll send you photos of me wearing this embroidered floral number. Email me and Amanda at hello@theforbiddenpod.com. And as always, you can check out the archives at theforbiddenpod.com. I think I covered. Oh, and also don't forget, if you've listened this long, you have either liked, rate, reviewed, subscribed. Probably already done this, but if you haven't, what the fuck? Yeah, so
It's
do that.
time. It's time.
It is time. It's been a long time. Yeah.
Well, Blake, thank you for listening to that titillating story that we had this evening.
Thank you for sharing it, and thank you for getting married and inviting us.
Oh, you're welcome. And listeners, as always, we thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got to talk a little more.
Yeah, cheers.